And your source for esports racing is live. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Full Velocity Racing Network. Live tonight at the Iowa Speedway. It is Thursday night. It is time for the Cyber Thunder Wyckoff Heating and Cooling Thursday Night Thunder Xfinity Series. We're happy to have you aboard here tonight. The Iowa Children's Hospital 120 live via Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch TV. Hello, everybody. Phil Lacasse here, along with Jack Truin, the Phil and Jack Attack, and my partner Todd Stanton will maybe be joining us here shortly, but I know he's getting ready for part two of our double bill here tonight, and happy to lock and load here live with all you fellows out here live on Facebook Live and YouTube and Twitch as we get ready to rock and roll here. 12 drivers scheduled to take the green flag for 120 laps, so let's take you through our starting lineup on the pole. Championship contender aboard car number 1, that is Michael Berg, and alongside aboard car number 9, that is Colton Salick. In row number 2, a pair of championship contenders aboard car number 55, that is Edward Byen, and the number 44 of Dakota Wilkins rolls on the outside of the second row. In row number 3, the number 42, winner 2 weeks ago in Indianapolis, that is Tanner Tellerico. He has already punched his ticket to the next round, and alongside of him, the number 50, that is Nick Fleury. David Patton rolls off next aboard car number 38. Jay Morris aboard the number 27, rolling off from a 10th position, rolling off from, or I say 8th position. 9th will be the 71 of Troy Whiteside, Tom Richter. Wyckoff's number 34, he rolls off 10th. 11th will be Andrew Burr, a championship contender, aboard car number 23, and Derek McLenithan's number 26, making up our field of cars here tonight. 12 drivers strong, 120 laps around the 7/8 mile in Newton, Iowa, Iowa Speedway. Great to have you aboard here this evening, which is going to be a fantastic night of racing as the field already working its way off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway here. Pretty long little sweeping racetrack here, 7/8 of a mile, Rusty Wallace design, beautiful little racetrack out here, just in the middle of nowhere in Newton, Iowa. Michael Berg, so far so good. He set tonight's Hard Motorsports quick time. Pretty dang good lap there in practice, or qualifying, I should say, 22.038. Put him on top of the board over Colton Salick, who's going to run second at the time being. Ed Byen currently running in for third. Dakota Wilkins, Tanner Tellerico, the number 42, a guy who has nothing to lose here tonight. Nothing to gain, nothing to lose in that number 42. He already knows he is going to race his way in to the next round of 4 here at Homestead Miami Speedway. He'll be racing off for a championship. Could we find a new winner to join him here tonight? A lot of racing left to go in Iowa as we work now lap number 4 off into turn number 3. Berg over Salick, and already as we look up running to the 3rd and 4th, Ed Bynes, number 55, Dakota, the number 44, and the 42. Tanner Tellerico trying to run those guys up to the top 5. Nick Fleury, the number 50, made his way back around Tanner. His 42 got a little tad bit loose. That Autism Centers of Michigan Chevrolet Camaro looks like he was already got a little damage to the back end of that car, so maybe he may have kissed the outside wall already aboard car number 42. Going to drop him back to position number 6, put Nick Fleury up to 5th aboard the number 50. We're single file. All up front for the race lead, Michael Berg, and here comes Colton Salick. He's going to take a peek to the low side off of turn number 2, maybe make a bid for the race lead down the back chute and into turn number 3. He'll fall back in line. Now the 55, Ed Byen, he's got his car rolling. That thing at 55 looks to be hooked up really good off the corner. He made a run off the 4th turn, maybe taking a peek down low under Salick now for 4. He's going to try and get number 1 and 2, but he drives it in way too deep. 55 plows up the hill, may open the door for Dakota Wilkins, another championship contender aboard the 44 to maybe take a look. But we're going to have a switch up for the race lead. Colton Salick going to pass around Michael Berg off of turn number 2. Berg going to fire back to the low side, and we go back to Indianapolis where Michael Berg was a contender early, had an incident early on in the race, and had a DNF, so he may be a guy looking to rebound tonight because we know Michael Berg's got a tremendous load of talent. He may be a guy trying to get his way to the Homestead Miami Speedway in about 4 weeks from now as we race off for a championship. We're in the round of 8. We were here 2 weeks ago in Indy where we saw Tanner Tellerico win. We're here tonight in Iowa for round number 2 of the round of 8. We also got stops over to New Hampshire International. I think it's New Hampshire. Let me pull this up really quick here, make sure I'm giving correct information out. We got New Hampshire next week on the docket, and the following week we go to the all-new ISM Speedway, the old Phoenix International Raceway up in Arizona. That's going to be where we're going to see the final race here in the round of 8, and that'll punch our final 4 into the Homestead Miami Speedway. Already putting 10 laps on the board here tonight in Iowa, the Iowa Children's Hospital 120, a great cause. As a guy who's lived in a children's hospital for quite a while there. When my son was born, I completely sympathize with that. I know our buddy Todd Stanton does as well. So really good cause. Come out here and race for Iowa Children's Hospital here this evening. Colton Salick and Michael Berg having a really good race for that top spot now off of turn number 2 and down this back straightaway. Guys are really getting around this joint really good here tonight. Laps of under 23 seconds. That is just flying around this place. And these guys doing it pretty good. 12 cars, a little bit of a lighter crowd here for a Thursday night. But it is championship time. It's playoff time. If guys don't qualify, they sometimes will tend to maybe stay away from the action. Don't screw up anybody's run for a championship. And I give all the credit in the world to those drivers that show up and do. A guy like Colton Salick or a guy like Nick Fleury, guys who maybe not racing for championships, but maybe, getting their laps and experience for maybe taking a run at it next season. So it's always good to have new flavors out there, guys maybe out of the mix trying to get experience, but then you get guys like Colton Salick right now, that number 9, he's out here, said not running for a championship, doing a hell of a job here early on as he's going to drive his way out to almost a half-second advantage already over Michael Berg. Ed Byen holding on to the 3rd spot. Currently, Dakota Wilkins riding in his tire tracks, riding in 4th. Nick Fleury's number 50. Nick up at the top 5 as he has been all race long. Tanner Tellerico, he is settled back there in 6th. David Patton currently runs 7th. Tom Richter has moved up to 8th from starting position number 10. 9th, we find Jay Morris, the number 27, and rounding out the top 10, the number 71 of Troy Whiteside. Andrew Burr, another one trying to run his way down into the Final Four at Homestead. He currently runs 11 and rounding out the field, almost a full half a straightaway or half a lap behind. Car number 26, Derek McLenithan, already off the pace here in Iowa. Some guys coming into the night said they're really not short track aces. Guys like Tanner Tellerico, he said that after Indianapolis. He said, you know what, all these tracks coming up do not fit my driving style. Had to go out and get one last week at Indy while he could to race his way for a championship, and that's exactly what he did. And here in a couple weeks, live at the Homestead Miami Speedway, live on the Full Velocity Racing Network, your source for esports racing. You can find us today if you haven't done so already. Head over to the home base website, fullvelocitytv.com. You can see our full events calendar. If you look over at today's schedule, you see we're here tonight in Iowa. We're also going to be at the dirt track of the Charlotte Motor Speedway coming up about 9:15 p.m. Eastern Time. About an hour from now with the guys over at Highside Double Down Racing. I know Todd Stanton's getting ready over there. I'm hoping to join him here rather shortly after this one, and we'll take the stroll through the dirt cars here tonight, which is always fun to do. We love the dirt here on Full Velocity. We love the pavement, we love short tracks, love all sorts of racing. If it's out there, we'd love to bring it to you. And the best way to book a date now is going to our website now, fullvelocitytv.com. Check out the event calendar. If you see an open space in our calendar, we can put you in. Excluding the weekends, we'll do Javale and Jack. We'll do a Friday date if you have one. But Saturdays could be a little bit tough. We'll see if Todd and Jack may be available. No, I'm certainly not on Saturdays. So we can do a date for you. As we will absolutely certainly try to do our best. All our information there, as far as the rates we go, all on there. You can also click on and thank our great sponsors like we have. You got great folks like Hanover Record Service and iRacing, iFlag, Voiles Trucking, BladeNo.com, South Texas Speedway, Montstar Productions, TDR Racing League, Hard Motorsports, Trash Panda Graphics, Evil One Graphics, and Full Throttle with the Gen over on YouTube. All those great sponsors that join us here on the network. You can click on their links, check out what they're all about. We're also, check out our great contributors page. A lot of people behind the scenes. It's not only a few select few of us that make the network go around night after night. We get contributions from so many different places, and very happy to do so. And we appreciate all that come in. And we'll accept any contribution you can make to the network. So get a hold of us today. Hit us up there through our Facebook page or by email at fullvelocitytv@gmail.com. As we're already 20 laps tonight in Iowa. Colton Salick leads by about 0.6 of a second over Michael Berg. You look back full 2 seconds before you find the 55 of Ed Byen. Dakota Wilkins is running in 4th, and you've got a few car likes Team Dakota. And the number 50 of Nick Fleury, who's beginning to run down the back bumper of the 44. Tanner Tellerico running in that 6th spot. David Patton in for 7. Tom Richter running 8th. Jay Morris, Troy Whiteside, Andrew Burr, and Derek McLenithan rounding out our 12-car field tonight in Iowa through the first quarter of the race. 22 laps going on the board. Salick up front was looking like he was looking very content to run away and hide, but Michael Berg, number 1 machine, Michael Sport has run down the back of the 9 car, and he's going to look to make a bid for the race lead off of turn number 4 and down this D-shape front straightaway here in Newton, Iowa. Looks like he was going to try to make the run down low. Didn't have the forward grip off the quarter, trying to save those tires. And he'll once again, as Colton slides up the hill off of 2, look at Michael Berg drive that bright blue number 1 car down to the bottom of the racetrack, gets back to the throttle. They almost touch a little bit getting to the inside turn number 3. Colton's up the hill, gets that big run off the top lane. Michael Berg down low, trying to just do all he can to hold that car underneath him, maybe not scour up any tires on there. Is Colton Salick holding off one of the best right now aboard car number 1, and a guy who really is looking to rebound off a struggling run here in Indy a couple of weeks ago. And they're wrecking now. Oh, they are wrecking, and I think the 1 car, did he get into the back of 9 of Salick and send him around? And yellow flag on the speedway, yellow, yellow, yellow for the first time this evening on lap number 26. I clicked away in that race for the lead, but I'm going to let you tell me the story, Jack, here over on BladeNote.com. Full Velocity is the replay, and Jack is saying absolutely 1 car into the side of the 9, sends Colton kind of around for a low. Just kicked him out a little bit from the left rear, sends the 9 car around. They're going to put us under our first Hannaford record service yellow flag of the night. Working now on lap number 26. We're going to pause here under yellow. We'll take a quick drink. We'll come back with the call. We'll restart live on your source for esports racing. Right back here live in your source for esports racing, the Full Velocity Racing Network, live tonight, the Iowa Children's Hospital 120 for the gang over here at the Cyber Thunder Racing League, presented by Wyckoff Heating and Cooling. Great to have those good folks aboard, come aboard and sponsor this great series, great league. And so these guys do a lot of racing here in the Xfinity cars on a Thursday night. They have the Rolling Thunder Truck Series they run over here on Tuesday nights as well. So check these guys out. Tom Richter, an old friend. Look these guys up, Cyber Thunder Racing League, and come be a part of a great league that's run by these guys. Lots of fun, great atmosphere, really loose. So these guys really know how to get after it. Really good drivers. They'd love to have you come over here for next season as well. As you got race the guy flag. Green flag goes up in the air, and Colton Salick pounds on that loud pedal first. He's going to lead them back into turn number one as we start now on lap number 31. Nick Fleury, Ed Bine going to race it out for second. Here comes Dakota Wilkins, number 44. He's going to take a stab to the low side. He's going to complete the pass on the 50. Maybe look to the backside of that number 55. Toyota, Ed Bine. Those two drivers been getting after it this entire race, but now it's Ed up to second. Dakota running in third. Nick Fleury fourth, and David Patton's number 38 runs there back in the top five. You saw guys like in the previous caution, you see Michael Berg. He had to go to the back of the field to the contact there with the back of the 9 car. So Michael had to start in the rear of the field, came off the pit road, currently running in that 10th spot. And I'm going to assume he's going to start running down these cars up front as he's got a world good of talent on that car. He's going to pull to the low side of the 42. Facing off for the 8th spot now off of turn number 2. We'll take an eye on what the 1 car of Michael Berg has in store for these guys the rest of the night as we basically stay single file throughout the field. That's the best battle we've got going on as Tellerico slides up the hill in the 42. 1 car looks to vacate that hole, but right away here on new tires, it looks like these things may be a little bit slickery to do. So we'll update the progress of the 1 car. Good race going on up here for, it looks like, position number 4 between the 38 of David Patton and the 50 of Nick Fleury. Put the 38 now, the Canyon Filter Chevrolet. David Patton, a championship runner. He's now up into the 4th spot. Dropped Nick Fleury to 5th, and great rebound here for the number 71 of Troy Whiteside. He started outside the top, or he started 9th, I should say. He was out toward the back of the field. He's now up into the 6th spot. Good run going on for that Tellerico Sign and Designs. Still Tools number 79 machine running in that 6th spot. White car, red numeral, great looking scheme there for Troy Whiteside. Good to see him having a good run here early back here, running in 6th, trying to run down the back of the 50 car of Nick Fleury. Racing up ahead there for the 2nd spot. Dakota Wilkins going to take a look to the inside of Ed Bine off turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Can the 44 pull up alongside? Those guys are door to door off of turn number 4 down this D-shaped 7A smile here. Newton, Iowa Speedway as they work up the 2nd quarter. Colton Salick driving away. He's put over 1 second between this battle going on for 2 with Ed Bine and Dakota Wilkins. Dakota going to try his hand with that Energizer Chevrolet up to the top lane. Look at the run he gets on that number 55. Looks like he's got a little bit more than WD-40 of those tires out there tonight. Is 44 up alongside the 55. We race through turns number 3 and 4. 1 and 2, I should say. The 44 gets a good run up high, trying to complete that pass on the 55 of Ed Bine. These guys are really going after it good. You wonder how long these tires can hold up if they run at the clip they're doing right now, because they're running side by side. And what's that also allowing to do? It's allowing not only Colton Salick to drive away, but David Patton's number 38 starting to run down the back of these two drivers, battling it out for 2nd. Ed Bine get a hold on it for the time being. Dakota going to slip back into 3rd, but you look now, that number 38, David Patton, is looming large back there in 4th. He is beginning to run down the likes of the top 3 up front. Nobody faster tonight so far than Colton Salick of the first 40 laps of the race. 1/3 home here on the Full Velocity Racing Network as we're going to get another yellow flag. Yellow, yellow, yellow. Caution on the Speedway on lap number 40. Our 2nd Hannibal Record Service yellow flag of the night. Going to slow the field back down. It's going to put Jack back to work with another BladeNode.com Full Velocity Racing Network instant replay. Got to check out those guys at BladeNode.com today. It looks like it was the 1 car of Michael Berg that may have won around in this one. And oh my goodness, guy who's struggling 2 consecutive races here. A guy we thought was going to be one of those top runners here tonight. He got into the side of a 71 of Troy Whiteside and the 34 of Tom Richter. So Berg having a tough night. That's already the second yellow flag the one car has caused here this evening, and you wonder if there's a rule here at Cyber Thunder. If they cause 2 yellows, do they have to pull over and park? Because that may be in effect here. And if it is, Michael Berg is having just a hellish night out here. 40 laps in. He sat on the pole. He led the opening laps of the race, but we're going to slow it back down under yellow. The pits are open. The field's going to come in. We'll update all the happenings from pit road and get ready for a restart back here live on your source for esports racing. Don't go anywhere. It does not. But that thing is wrecked. Watch, we're going to use a quick repair. We're going to beat all the damage back out. Which has to be the single stupidest thing racing ever designed. Imagine TDR with a quick repair. Yeah, go for it. I like it. All right, so I guess we're back live, and I guess we were live or weren't live, or sound was muted or wasn't muted, or somehow came unmuted. So you guys heard some of the chatter off seas Jack and I will do off air. You guys may have heard a little bit of that, but we apologize for that. Wasn't intended so, but I don't think we really did anything bad right there. We were just talking about stuff with the quick repairs possibly in these race cars. Michael Berg's night aboard car number 1 is going to be all done. He's going to have another disastrous evening here in the playoffs. Round number 2, Michael Berg will finish up 12th here tonight in Iowa, and we're going to get ready to rock and roll for a restart. Coming to lap number 45 complete. Jay Morris now, number 27, going to lead over Ed Byen, Dakota Wilkins, Colton Salick, who's been really fast here early. He's going to restart 4th, and Nick Fleury around in our top 5 aboard car number 50 as we go back to green. Good to see a new race leader out there. How about that number 27? Jay Morris, go get you some, son, out there and lead. I thought he was going to be out there leading a lady lap, but he's going to take that Exalta Chevrolet, car number 27, out to the race lead and doing a pretty good job. And, with it, I should say, is Colton Salick now. He's carving his way through the field. He's around Ed Byen. He's made his way around Dakota Wilkins, and Colton Salick already trying to make state claim back to the race lead over here in turns number 3 and 4. Look at the run that 9 car gets to the low side. Jay gonna fight back up high as they work down this bend here with the D-shaped Iowa Speedway. Off into turn number 1. Jay slides up the hill, almost makes a little touch with the outside wall, and that opens the door wide for that Tellerico. Signs into signs. Car number 9, Colton Salick, now up to the race lead. Ed Byen going to look to capitalize on the 27, stuck up high. 55 car going to move back into that second spot, and it's going to also open the door for Dakota Wilkins aboard the number 44. He's going to look to the low side, running in for third. So Jay Morris, who restarted as a race lead, thought it was a great idea. Led some laps, maybe getting some experience out there with these cars. Jay, not a guy running for a championship, gets up there, leads a couple of laps, gets his name out there in the spotlight, as we always love to do here live on the Full Velocity Racing Network, as we're leading the way right now with Colton Salick aboard car number 9. Ed Byen there running in for second. Dakota Wilkins third. Jay Morris in there for fourth, and fifth we find David Patton's number 38 car. Good battle going back here for looks like 6th, 7th on back. Nick Fleury back here, number 50, having a good run. Him and Tanner Tellerico having a good race for position. Tanner and Nick racing it out, looks like, for position number 6, 42 car now up ahead of the 50. We got Tom Richter tumbling behind aboard the 34, currently running 8th. Troy Whitesides broke back to 9th. Andrew Burr running at the top 10. Derek McLenathan, he's been struggling out here most of the night. He's out there running 11th, and Michael Berg, our only car out of the race. And man, that's a developing story here early aboard car number 1. But the number 55, Ed Byen, he has had some issues because he has dropped positions now. Dakota Wilkins is stuck by. David Patton around, and now Tanner Tellerico's number 42. He looked to take a peek under the 55. So Ed was up there running in second, and he's already dropped back to the 4th spot. So you get up out of the group. Looks like you could open the door down low, and they could almost freight train you. You can see it once again here down to turn number 3. 55 could not hold that car to the bottom, got stuck up high, just rolled over, let Tanner Tellerico kind of run back by him, but he gets that run back down the inside, reclaims the spot. Nick Fleury going to look to vacate the hole from the 42, leaves up high. So look at these guys shape-shifting and jumping through positions up here. 55 trying to make something happen. 42 been doing some good work. 50 and Nick Fleury having a good run. These guys having a terrific pace being set. Racing back here for position number 4. Up front, the number 9 of Colton Salick has just taken off and run away and hit over well over 1 second ahead of Dakota Wilkins, the number 44. David Patton, they're running in third. That K&N Filters number 38, having a terrific run. Looking to capitalize on some points here tonight. Ed Byen holding on for 4th right now in that Gorilla Glue WD-40 sponsored car number 55. Toyota holding off Tanner Tellerico's number 42. For the time being, looks like he has held off Tanner's best challenge to date. Nick Fleury back there, the number 50. He was up there running with those two for a second as well, as they've kind of sorted back single file as we are approaching halfway, 56 laps in. The Iowa Children's Hospital 120 being run out here tonight live at the Iowa Speedway. Great to see Joel Carmichael. He just clocked into the Facebook live chat. Joel, I'm glad you decided to chime in, say hello. We're going to be out here all night long. We're here, of course, with Cyber Thunder to start tonight. We're going to make the jump to the dirt here about 30 minutes from now. We'll join Todd over at the High Side Double Down League. The dirt track, the Charlotte Motor Speedway, going to be our battleground here tonight with those guys over there. But we've got business to do for the second half of this race here tonight live in Iowa. Colton Salick doing all he can tonight to try to race his way around and maybe pick up a win. A guy not running in championship contention, but doing a hell of a job up there, leading the field over the 44 of Dakota Wilkins. David Patton's number 38 in there for third, and Ed Byen, him, Nick Fleury, and Tanner Tellerico. Those guys have been having some pretty good sporty racing going on back there for 4th on back, as we're, looks like 2 laps shy of halfway. 2 more trips around for Colton Salick's number 9 car. He is just making quick work out here tonight, now up to his 2.5 advantage over the number 44, and last time by 22.901 the lap time for car number 9 of Colton Salick. Let's see what he'll do this time around here. We score the lap time for the leader, 22.90 last time, 22.96. So a little bit slower this time by for the number 9 car, Colton Salick, but you know, he's down there under 23 seconds flat. Dakota Wilkins last time by was a 23.16. So you can see it's on the screen there. The 9 car has got that gap going. He's got a faster car now, up 1.7 seconds over Dakota. Let's see what Dakota gets here. 23.16 last time by, 23.02 this time around. So just a tenth quicker for number 44, but he's got a mirror full of the 38 of David Patton, who's going to take the K&N Filter Chevrolet down to the low side. David Patton now going to try to make his move at that runner-up spot, and car number 38 down low gets a pretty good run off the corner here, off of turn number 4, down this sweeping D-shaped here, 7A Smile in Newton, Iowa. Dakota using the run outside to hold them off for the time being, but looks like these guys can't really run the extreme low side. Middle of the racetrack seems to be the best way around right now for car number 38. As he runs the middle now off into turn number 3 and 4. Dakota gingerly on the outside lane, kind of just lets it sit up the hill, gets back to the throttle, eases it really good off the corner, holding off the 38 right now for the time being. Good battle going on for second and third, but unfortunately the gap between themselves and the leader is growing, as last time by 1.75 seconds the interval for that number 9 car, but they've started to run him down a little bit of a click, because last time by was down to 1.729, so a little bit quicker right now. These two drivers racing back there, you know, together, 44, 38, pushing each other pretty good. They've got 4 seconds between themselves, and Nick Fleury's number 50 running back there in 4th now. Tanner Tellerico has made his way up into the top 5. Ed Byen has dropped to 6th, and he may have a race on his hands soon with Tom Richter, number 34, because Tom's Wyckoff Heating and Cooling for number 34, currently running in that 7th spot. Tom having a pretty solid run here tonight. Jay Morris from the lead. He has dropped back to 8th. Troy Whiteside running in 9th. And Andrew Byrne has made his way on the 71 point. Andrew Byrne out tonight. Dropped Troy Whiteside back to the 10th spot aboard car number 71, as these things are starting to get a little bit wobbly and evil handling, and looks like Troy may have had a little bit of contact with the outside wall, because the back end of that car a little tad bit crunched up right now as we take a peek back up to this race for second. Patton back to the low side of Wilkins off of turn number 2. Down the back chute over here, see if we catch up the battle here. Another 1 and 2 now as I catch the battle. 44 still to the outside. 38, I think, may complete the pass by the time they get off the corner. Certainly does. David Patton now going to work his way up to the 2nd spot. Drop Dakota Wilkins back to 3rd, but just as these guys are racing, the lead for Colton Salick has grown to nearly 3 seconds at interval. So 9 car doing a heck of a job out here this evening in Iowa, driving away from the field. David Patton there running in the 2nd spot, washes up the hill. Does Dakota Wilkins have one more run to him to make? Is said 2 laps away from 70 laps on the board, 120 the distance here tonight at the Iowa Speedway. And really glad you guys have tuned in live on your source for esports racing with the Phil and Jack Attack. Phil LaCash, Jack chewing out here on a Thursday night. My partner in crime, Todd Stanton, he is perched over the dirt track of the Charlotte Motor Speedway with the guys over at High Side Double Down. He will have the call over there. I'm going to hopefully join him here in just a little bit at the conclusion of the Iowa Children's Hospital 120 tonight here in Iowa. So we'll take the call on over here for the rest of the night if we have to, as Todd was hoping to join me over here briefly, but it looks like he's going to be held up for a little while, getting everything sorted out over there, and that's a great idea, as I can't wait to get over to the dirt track at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, but having a hell of a time out here in Iowa, where Colton Salick is just motoring through the field now, putting 70 laps up on the board. David Patton now comfortably running in the 2nd spot, 3 car lengths ahead of Dakota Wilkins. For those guys, nearly 3.5 seconds behind our race leader. Another car that's starting to run down these guys up in the top 2 is Nick Fleury's number 50. He's been running really good lap times here, about 23:50 last time around. So number 50, Nick Fleury, he's starting to run down these guys running 2nd and 3rd. He was scored 4.6 seconds last time by, so he was 2.5 seconds behind these two drivers here a couple of laps ago. They got to racing. Nick Fleury starting to run down the interval some, 4.6 off our race leader last time around. A couple car lengths back, you find the number 42, winner here 2 weeks ago in Indy, the only driver that's comfortably can say he will racing for a championship here in Homestead in a couple of weeks. That, of course, Tanner Tellerico aboard car number 42. Ed Bine has dropped back to the 6th spot. Tom Richter back there in 7. But how about we go back and take a look at those guys racing for 6, because Ed slid up the hill. Here comes Richter to the bottom side of that number 34, the white and green machine. That's going to be a race for position number 6 here on lap number 72. So these guys still getting after it as Cyber Thunder. They always do. It's a really clean league. They run a lot of green flag laps, but they get together. They have a lot of green flag racing. Jay Morris also in that mix as well. In a 27, he makes it run to the outside of Richter. Put Jay Morris out up ahead of the 34. He's going to swing down to the low side and make a move underneath Ed Bye. And I have to wonder, is that still the same tires that 27 had? They certainly are. Jay got a hell of a run right there. Just using all the racetrack he can, and he's going to make that big move ahead of Tom and Ed. Jay Morris up there racing. There goes those two gentlemen, 6th, 7th, and 8th respectively on the racetrack. You look just ahead of the 55, and you see now the battle with the 42 and the 50 are side by side. Nick Fleury versus Tanner Tellerico racing it out for position number 4. So what I thought was going to be pretty tame here for a little while was certainly not in the middle stages of this one. Fleury now going to drive it down to the low side into turns number 3 and 4. 42 of Tellerico, he'll drive it up on the top lane, gets a really good run off the corner, and so this time by the line, 23.7 to wait the lap time for Tanner Tellerico, 23.635, so a little touch bit faster for the 50. But those two guys just continuing to have a really good race as Tanner coming back to the low side now towards turn number 3 and 4. He's going to drive in front of the 50. Nicomas coming back on a little crossover maneuver, and he does off of 4. He's going to pull back to the inside. Great racing going on here in Iowa at the gang at Cyber Thunder Wyckoff Heating and Cooling Xfinity Series that has been run here every Thursday night this season. We've seen a lot of the racing action. We were here 2 weeks ago at Indy for the first race of the round of 8 that Tanner Tellerico picked up the win on. We've got tonight's second round of the round of 8 from Iowa. We'll see if we get another winner to join us in the round of 4. We'll be back here live next week at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway, and then 2 weeks from tonight, the conclusion of the round of 8, the ISM Speedway out Phoenix, Arizona, will be the showplace here for the final round of the round of 8. And then August the 1st, a couple weeks from now, we got 4 consecutive weeks of Cyber Thunder on the docket. We're going to see Homestead Miami Speedway come to life where they crown a champion with their Final 4 on Thursday night, August the 1st. So check these guys out. Cyber Thunder Racing League, a great league, do a lot of awesome racing, and these guys are doing it in a big way here tonight. We'll continue to enjoy the sights and sounds of the Iowa Speedway. We're under green here, working 2/3 the way in. Lap number 80 on the board. It is Colton Salick with a 4-second advantage. We'll be right back here. We'll pause under green on your source for esports racing, the Full Velocity Racing Network. We'll be right back. Back here live in your source for esports racing, Full Velocity Racing Network is taking a little bit of a break here. Under the green flag at Iowa Speedway, the Iowa Children's Hospital 120 tonight for the Cyber Thunder Wyckoff Heating and Cooling Thursday Night Thunder Series. We're watching a pretty good race going on back there for about fourth and fifth. Tanner Tellerico has run down the back of Dakota Wilkins. That's going to be a race for third. We see Ed Byan starting to race his way back to the field. He's not only past the likes of Jay Morris, but also he's Nick Fleury's number 50. He's passed his way back by. So Ed Byan trying to flex his muscle now. Ed back into the top five, but I'm going to concentrate up ahead here in this race for third because there's nothing to talk about up front. Colton Salick leads this race by about 5.5 seconds over David Patton running in second. So there is no drama going on up there right now. We'll break there, obviously, if something does happen. But this race for third between the 42 and a 44, a pretty good one is Tellerico just made his way to the low side and completing the pass in the 44. So I thought they would race it out for a little bit, but you can see how these cars have really fallen off. They have slowed down a second and a half over the course of this green flag run as we're lap 87 on the board now. So I'm starting to wonder, can these guys make this race run fuel from here? Can they do it? Are we going to see these guys come down on pit road one more time? And we've seen cars fall a lap down. We've seen Troy McLennigan fall a lap down to the race leader. Troy Whiteside also has fallen one lap down on the number 71. So we have 9 drivers left on the lead lap as Colton Salick is just putting a hurting on these guys tonight. Aboard that number 9, David Patton right now running in that second spot, kind of all by his lonesome out there logging laps. 5.661 seconds last time by. Give you a lap time comparison here for our two guys up at the top two. 23.809 the lap time for David Patton versus Colton Salick out there running a 23.632. So just under 0.2 seconds difference, what will kind of give you the interval out there of 5.8 between the two race leaders last time by. Tellerico running in third. It was close to 8 seconds last time around between himself and the race leader, the number 9. Dakota Wilkins running now back there in fourth. It was 8.6 seconds last time around the interval from the leader to back to the 44. Ed Byan now running in fifth. It's close to 10 seconds between the race leader and our driver running in the fifth spot. So really kind of tame right now around the Iowa Speedway. As far as racing in the top 5 goes, Jay Morris is number 27. He has raced his way now back up to 6th. It is Nick Fleury running in 7th, but Nick has his hands full because Tom Ricker is all over the back of that number 50. Let's take a look at that battle going on for position number 7 as we work our way now off of turns number 1 and 2, and they'll shoot down the back straightaway here in Newton, Iowa. Probably the best of the race on the racetrack right now is this battle back here with the 50 and the 34, but it is well behind our race leader, Colton Salick, who just has his place covered. 6.2 seconds the interval behind for all these guys. So we look that 34 was going to run down the back of the 50, maybe make something happening there as way position battling goes, but he made a liar out of me. I guess Tom maybe heard me talking about him, said, hey, maybe I slow the pace down a little bit, and he kind of rolls it off and eases his way back into the running groove. Andrew Bird, the big-time Rush Toyota car number 23. Haven't talked a lot about him tonight. Andrew, one of those 8 guys out there trying to race his way for a championship, running out there currently 9. So not the run he was looking for out there tonight, but a clean race car. Keep the car underneath you. That's what you got to do in races like these, to try to log points, get good finishes. If you're not going to win, you got to try to outmuscle these guys in points. And so far, the big point getter tonight of our championship contenders is going to be that 38 car of David Patton, currently running up there in second. Got a pretty good gap between himself and the 42 of Tanner Tellerico. It was 2.5 seconds last time by. The gap between the two. Battle going on back for fourth. Jack says, oh, he's right. Dakota Wilkins and Ed Byan are now racing it out for position number 4 as Ed has chased down Dakota. And that 55 has turned on a new gear here in the last 15 laps as he runs down the back of the Energizer Chevrolet down over here in turns number 3 and 4. 1 and 2, I should say, over here, the west end of the racetrack, as we find that battle. Dakota going to hold off Ed by 2 car lengths. You can see the 55. He's running a little bit lower. And he must be doing something right because that car has just come to life. It has been really quick and starting to make his waves back inside the top 5 is Ed Byan. Those are 2 drivers right there racing for championship points. So 44 and 42 and 55, all those guys up there, 38 as well. Those are all championship contenders looking to race their way for max points nights, because unless the 9 car of Colton Salick has a catastrophic something happen, looks like he is coasting out here tonight. 6.3 seconds last time around the lead for that number 9 car. But this one's been a good race back here for fourth. It's kind of tamed itself out as these races are seeming to do out here for us tonight. Every time Jack calls out a good race, they kind of go by the wayside. I think I may have found another one here briefly. 50 versus 27 versus 34. Jay Morris and Tom Richter. Those two drivers having a pretty good race going on back here for seventh as Tom to the outside of the racetrack. He makes his way around the 27 Exalta Chevrolet, so put Tom Richter now up into the ranks of the top 7, and can he do something to chase down the back of the 50 car? He had run down here a little while ago. Nick Fleury's number 50 looks like that's a lap car up ahead. I believe that's the 71 of Troy Whiteside. They're putting down a lap here to the field. Troy back there running now in 10th. He is 1 lap down to the field, so he's trying out there to run laps, get some experience aboard the number 71 machine is Troy Whiteside. But I'm looking around once again, waiting for more races to kind of break. The battle with the 44 to the 55 has kind of come back together. Is Ed going to take another peek back to the low side of the 44 off of Turner Ford down this front straightaway. There are 100 laps on the board, 100 even here tonight in Iowa. 20 laps remaining in this battle for third. Now a good one. Battle for fourth, I should say, a pretty good one. It's third or fourth. It's battle for fourth. Battle for fourth of 44 and the 55. Running out of laps. Running out of steam up here, and a battle of 5s versus 4s for the 4th spot. So put that one on you for a minute. 55 of Ed buying that green and yellow car down to the bottom. Dakota Wilkins, that black and gray number 44, running in the high lane. They almost come together in the middle of the corner. They touched a little bit. Dakota a little bit squirrely, but not enough to surrender position as he continues to soldier it on to the outside lane with Ed Byan. They drag race door to door off turn number 4 and down this bend to the front straightaway at the 7/8 of a mile here, Iowa Speedway. As there was almost a little more contact as a 55 nose of that car really plowed up the hill, getting into turn number 1. Not sure if he got it hot or missed his, point to get into the corner, but Ed's car slipped way up the hill. And let's see what that does relevant to him and the 50 of Nick Fleury. The next car behind. There's a pretty good gap there. So Ed so far can peacefully sit there aboard position number 5 aboard car number 55 is Nick Fleury back there in the 6th spot. Tom Richter in for 7th. Jay Morris is 8th. Andrew Byrd 9th in the 10th position. Troy Whiteside 1 lap down. Derek McLenathan is 2 laps down, currently running 11th. And 1 car out of the race tonight, and that is our pole sitter. Car number 1, Michael Berg. He was out of here early tonight, caused 2 early incidents, and out of the chute for number 1. So this one tonight, just a disaster for the Michael Berg machine. It's been nothing but less for the race leader, car number 9, Colton Salick, who is just out there on a good old-fashioned Thursday night glide, as he has got an 8-second advantage over David Patton. David's got a second and a half back till he finds the 42 of Tanner Tellerico now running in for 3rd. Dakota Wilkins, Ed Byan, your current top 5 on lap 105. Running out of laps here, 15 laps to go at the Iowa Speedway. I'm going to take one more pause, get a quick drink in me, and be coming right back here. The call all the way to the finish live on your source for esports racing, the Iowa Children's 120 here at the Iowa Speedway. Going to be right back. right, back here live at the Full Velocity Racing Network. You guys have been enjoying some terrific racing out here with the gang at Cyber Thunder Racing League. This has been a terrific battle raging on for the fourth spot. Colton Salick leads by 8.7 seconds over David Patton. Tanner Tellerico in for third. This race for fourth is by far and away the best race on the racetrack. Ed Byen versus the 44 of Dakota Wilkins. Jackonite is talking off the air. When it seems like the 55's tires are screaming, no more, no more, he runs back down the 44, goes back to the inside, and just can't get that good he left to make the run off the corner. Dakota up high, using all that momentum and the grip that comes of being on the high lane of the racetrack, holding on for position number 4. I think that's the only drama really going to be left out here to settle tonight here at the Iowa Speedway, now working on lap number 112. And I think both drivers made a little brief contact with the wall. 55 really smoked it really good, as these tires are absolutely screaming and howling. These guys have been green for a better part of about 65 or 70 laps by now. So tires are they're screaming uncle. I'll guarantee that. The vote record's starting to scream uncle, and I'm sure Todd's over there on getting ready to rock here at the dirt track, the Charlotte Motor Speedway, saying, "Hey Phil, hope you're going to join me. Save some for me, because we're blowing it out here tonight live with these guys at Cyber Thunder in Iowa." And I'm really happy to do so. They put a name like the Iowa Children's Hospital as a title sponsor on this race, and that is something that absolutely makes me jump out here, because Children's Hospital is something very near and dear to the Full Velocity Racing Network. I've spent many and many nights at the Children's Hospital up in Boston, local to me. I know Todd has spent many nights out at the Strong Memorial Hospital out in Rochester, New York, local to him. So, we can get back and acknowledge these great hospitals and the miracle work they do for these children out there, these sick kids. I appreciate all they do here, and I'm really, really glad that Cyber Thunder chose to make the Iowa Speedway race about the Iowa Children's Hospital out here tonight. Colton Salick's advantage over David Patton, well, it basically sits pretty consistent right now. 8.6 seconds last time by. Tanner Tellerico sitting 10 and a half seconds back there, running in third. This race for fourth has just been really good, but it's got to run out of steam at some point. Dakota Wilkins holding off Ed Byen. Ed may be trying to peak to make one more run at it, as we're 116 laps of 120 in here, live on the Full Velocity Racing Network. If the 55 can keep the car off the wall, I think he may be all right. I don't know. I don't know if he's mad at his body guy or, whatever it may be, but he has just beat the heck out of the right side. Looks like one of my Full Velocity Racing cars I'll put out there on a Saturday night over at TDR Racing League. Shameless plug right there for those guys. But look at Eddie. He runs back down the 44. And I just don't know if he's got anything left on that thing to make a run to the low side as we put lap number 118 up on the board. He's going to try it again. One more good college try, racing on for that fourth spot. And we'll hopefully cover this if something breaks. But I'm going to take a peek out there at the race leader, Colton Salick, because he's going to be off of turn number 4 this time by. He is going to see that white silk in the air. One more trip around this 7/8 mile in Newton, Iowa. Got to give Rusty Wallace all the credit for this track design. It is awesome. Hoping to see this track actually make its way into the NASCAR Cup Series schedule one day, as we have white flag here in Iowa. One more trip around for car number 9. Colton Salick here as he worked down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4 for the final time, picking up the win in the Iowa Children's Hospital 120. Colton Salick going to pick up the win. Second, it looks like we could say unofficially, as we're still racing off the quarter here in turns number 3 and 4. David Patton going to finish up second. Tanner Tellerico for third. And the drama back here surrounding the battle for position number 4 looks like, just by a whisker, Dakota Wilkins going to get Ed Byen by 0.02 of a second there. Dakota Wilkins, or Ed Byen going to get fourth there. Oh, man. It was less than a bumper cover there. Ed Byen going to steal fourth from Dakota Wilkins. 6th going to be Nick Fleury. Tom Richter going to be in for 7th. Andrew Burr 8th. Jay Morris 9th. Troy Whiteside. Derek McLennan and Michael Berg. Our 12-car field here tonight live at the Iowa Speedway, as we will do the very best we can here on the fly. So I know we have another stream coming up here in just a couple of minutes, so we got to clear the Full Velocity airwaves to get Todd all set and ready to go for that. So let's see if we can't get these guys screened out really quick for the BladeNote.com Full Velocity Racing Network post-race show. We'll run up here through TeamSpeak real quick, and then we get talked to. See, we see David Patton. Let's get David. Let's get Tanner Tellerico going to get third out here tonight in the number 42. And, of course, the race winner, car number 9, Colton Salick. We will pull down here into the waiting room as well. So it looks like we have all three of those guys screened out. Let's move forward here to the Full Velocity Racing Network post-race show, Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch TV. Let's move down here now and talk to our third place finisher, a guy we talked to in Victory Lane 2 weeks ago in Indianapolis. Wasn't all that optimistic about his run in Iowa here tonight. But Tanner Tellerico aboard car number 42, man, a really good solid run for you, picking up third. I know you had nothing to gain as far as championship traction goes, but momentum of a good run, man. You're going to feel good after this one.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, finishing in the top 3 is actually a bit of a surprise to me because, like I said last week, I'm really not a huge fan of short tracks, mainly just because I don't have the best luck when it comes to them. I guess this place kind of a bigger short track, if you will, so that might have helped me out a little bit, but honestly, I didn't really feel all that confident in practice and qualifying, especially with my long run speed, but I tried a couple things during the race. I moved around. I think I ran the bottom, like half the race and the top half the race, it felt like, and I finally found something that kind of worked for me with about 50 to go. But by then, it was just too late to do anything.
And tell me how you guys with these last, I think, 75 or 80 laps about under caution, caution-free conditions. These tires had to be screaming uncle. These cars looked to be getting evil at one point. Now, you saved your goodie in a lot of years, but how about your tires feeling coming to the checkered flag?
I mean, like, it was really hurting me pretty bad more in 3 and 4. It wasn't too bad in 1 and 2. I mean, everybody was kind of running the same line through there, so you didn't really have a choice anyway. But I know in 3 and 4, when I was playing around with the bottom, if you got like glued right to the yellow line, there's a couple spots where it tried to snap on you. But with like 20 to go, I knew I probably wasn't going to be able to catch Dave, and I had a big enough gap behind me that I was kind of in my own spot, so I just went up against the wall and where it was safe. So I knew if anything were to happen up there, I'm just going to kiss the fence a little bit rather than spin or get into the wall any harder.
Well, Tanner, you did a hell of a job out here tonight. You said you were optimistic about having a good run here in Iowa, but you get a good, solid top 3 finish on the Full Velocity Racing Network. Live out there via Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch TV. Tanner, I think you know how this gig works. Take the floor away. Thank you. I'd like to thank you out here.
Yeah, this is actually a pretty special race for me this week. I've got Autism Centers of Michigan on the hood for not only this week, but at New Hampshire next week as well. Autism's affected my family pretty directly since 2009, and I'm pretty honored to be able to promote and support autism awareness through iRacing. It's a little bit different, but it's a really cool platform to do it on. We're working together to try to put a few things together for next season in Thursday Night Thunder, but as always, thanks to my family and everybody back at Boardwalk, all the guys at Cyber Thunder, Wyckoff Heating and Cooling for stepping on board for these races in the league, and of course, you guys for broadcasting all this so we can put on a show for those tuning in at home.
Well, we appreciate that, and this guy right here, a good shoe. We're going to see him for sure in Homestead. Mr. Tanner Tellerico aboard car number 42. We'll let him get back there and celebrate what is a really good run for those guys tonight. With that, the autism benches there, Autism Centers of Michigan sponsor on that car. That is a really cool deal indeed. We'll walk a bit further down pit road and talk to a guy who kind of had a really quiet night there aboard the number 38. That is David Patton. David, we talked about you running second, it seems like forever, with no competition around you. Did you even break a sweat out there tonight to finish second?
Yeah, hey Phil, it's funny. I don't know if I was better or if everybody else was just a little bit slower because I kind of, I felt out of focus tonight, and I just felt like I was not hitting my marks. I was overdriving entries. I was taking different lines through the corner, not on purpose. I just couldn't seem to get the rhythm in, and all of a sudden, I find myself in second and in a pretty good lead with nobody around me. I guess that's exactly how I needed it, since I was having trouble focusing on the race itself anyway, and I think, the fact that we finally had that long green flag run, after those first few cautions, that helped me out because I seemed to be just a little bit better in the long runs. But I'm really happy with getting second tonight. Colton did an awesome job. He was just a rocket ship in front of me. So I'm pretty happy with how things went tonight.
Absolutely right. And you got to tell me now, David, how did the tire wear play out there for you guys tonight? Because I thought after 80 laps of being under green here in Iowa, I know anytime I've done it, my tires always screaming at me about 40, 50 laps in. All you guys really seemed like you had a really good grip. The racetrack was in terrific shape. But how did tire wear play into you guys here tonight? Didn't seem as big as a part of the race as I really thought it would.
Yeah, well, I mean, tire wear does always be a factor here, especially at Iowa. I mean, it grinds up tires pretty good, but usually you just gotta. I just had mentally in my head, I just have to be patient. This is one of them tracks where you really gotta be patient, especially with tire wear. You gotta wait on the car a long time. You gotta get over the mountain range through turn 1 and 2, a lot of bad bumps, and just really wait on the car to grab before you get on the gas. So it was definitely a big factor, Phil. It was just you just had to be a lot more patient as the run went on and the tires wore out.
Oh, absolutely. Well, David, you had a really good night. It's a good points night for you as you guys look forward trying to race your way into the Final Four at Homestead. No automatic winner here tonight as Colton's not in the playoff mix at all. You got to feel good having a top points night out of a good night for you in that 38 team. You guys looking forward to racing your way into Homestead in a couple of weeks? What do you think of these next 2 weeks we have ahead?
Oh yeah, I mean I'm thrilled. It'd be awesome. I always kind of consider myself an underdog here with some of these guys. This was the best possible scenario for me was to have Colton win and me grab second. But if I can get into Homestead, that would be great. I know it'll be a real long shot running against guys like Tanner, Eddie, and a lot of the guys here that are really quick all the time. So I'm excited. The pressure's on. But I'm ready to take it on and give it the old college try. You know what I mean?
Absolutely right. Well, this guy right here, he's a hell of a good one. Love talking to him, David Patton. We're live on Full Velocity tonight, live on Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch TV. I'm going to give you the floor one more time, buddy. Thank you. I'd like to thank out there that may be watching or whoever is responsible for getting out here.
Well, as always, you got to thank our sponsors, Wyckoff Heating and Air. They made it possible so we can get everything broadcast and supply, a little bit of a purse for us and stuff. So thank you to them for their sponsorship and support this season. Thanks to you guys for doing the work and coming out and broadcasting us. You do a great job. And I always got to thank my girlfriend, Natalie, my better half, love of my life. She's always supporting me. She watches us all the time and cheers me on. So I got to thank Natalie, too, as well.
Yeah, well, we got to say hello to Natalie as well, as it's the women behind the scenes that put up with what we do to make this thing great. There you have it, folks. Trackside here tonight, runner-up finish aboard car number 38, David Patton, a guy who no doubt is going to be one of those guys you look for the championship run here in a couple of weeks at Homestead. So we have talked to third. We have talked to second. Let's see if we can't get down here to Bladeno.com Victory Lane, the fastest car here tonight in the state of Iowa. Was this number 9 of Colton Salek. Colton, what a whale of a ride, man. You don't even look like you're sweating right now. Tell us about that dominating run you put out here for all 120 laps.
Yeah, no, that was fun. Starting off with Michael there. He outqualified me. I was not able to put down a fast lap for him, but early on, me and him were battling. He got into me. I still haven't seen that, so I don't want to talk about that much. I don't know what happened there. Got out of that with no damage somehow. Got pretty lucky, I guess, and ended up somehow coming out of the pits with the lead and kind of never looked back. It was really fun. Clean air probably helped me a little bit, but I found something here, so. Coming to before tonight, I always considered it one of my worst tracks. I don't really know what to think about it now. That was pretty fun, so.
Well, it's a place you really got to keep your rhythm. Now we look forward to places like New Hampshire ISM coming up on the schedule. Are we going to see you out here the next couple of weeks racing around? Because a lot of these guys, their mindset is points and good runs of race for a championship. You're the complete opposite. No stress. Come out here, log laps, go out here, win races. You kick their butt here tonight. That's stress-free driving at its best, I would say.
Yeah. Ended up being under a little pressure. Andrew wasn't able to make it. He was on a family vacation. So, I was told by Andrew, since me and him are teammates, that if someone's going to win this race, it obviously can't be him. So he wanted me to win it because I needed to keep his spot free. I couldn't let a race guy win, so I had to come out here and drive and get it done just like I was in the race.
And talking there of Andrew, that's Andrew Payne aboard car number 84, who wasn't here tonight for folks that may not know. But Colton, terrific run here tonight live on Full Velocity here at Iowa's Children's Hospital 120. Our big winner here tonight live on Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch TV. I'm going to give you the floor one more time. Thank you. I'd like to thank out there that may be watching, friends, family, sponsors, whoever you got to thank out there, bud. The floor is all yours. Take it away and great ride tonight.
Just start off Wyckoff Heating and Cooling for sponsoring the whole year, and the league, and helping you guys put on the show. Then of course you guys for letting people watch and trying to put on a good show. It got pretty. I'm sure it wasn't exciting to watch the lead, but I was looking in the mirror. I saw some fun stuff going on back there. Looked like it was fun. Tanner Callery for Callery Signs and Designs got us looking good and always helped me driving. Andrew wasn't here tonight, but all Impulse Racing. We are all help each other out, fun stuff, and look pretty cool to get a win for them. So yeah.
Absolutely right, and we apologize because we didn't cover a whole lot of you out there because you basically put everybody to sleep out there racing up there with the lead all by yourself. But buddy, great job. Hey, I think we're going to do this again here really soon there, buddy. Congratulations on a good run tonight.
Thank you, guys.
All right, Colton Salick, tonight's big winner down here on BladeNo.com, Victory Lane of the Full Velocity Racing Network. Thank all of you who tuned in tonight here at the Cyber Thunder Racing League. Got to thank Wyckoff Heating and Cooling for all they do. Thank our sponsors once again here live on the network. Got to thank Hanover Record Service, iRacing, iFlag, Voiles Trucking, BladeNo.com, South Texas Speedway, Mudstar Productions, TDR Racing League, Hard Motorsports, Trash Panda Graphics, Evil One Graphics, and Full Throttle with the gent for Jack Truin, Todd Stanton, Ron Piles, Martin Karch, Brett Rolls, and all the entire cast of characters that make up the Full Velocity Racing Network. Phil Licassi are going to sign off, but don't go too far because another round of Full Velocity Racing Network coverage. High Side Double Down Racing, the dirt track, the Charlotte Motor Speedway coming up next. Be out there looking for the Facebook Live link, possibly YouTube and Twitch as well. So until next time, everybody. We'll see you next time back here live on your source for esports racing. Everybody take care.